Hello, hello. Welcome to the Magical Moms podcast. Today we are chatting with a very special guest, theme park journalist and mom to a Disney loving toddler, Carly Weisel.
Yes, and we are so excited because Bridget and I have actually run into Carly multiple times in the park, but it's always one of those days where we're like trying to get the content, trying to like do all the things, or we have our kids with us, and we've never actually like sat down and had a conversation with her. So this is really exciting for Bridget and I because we're like, oh, we get to like sit down and talk with Carly. This is going to be so much fun. So we're excited to dive into her life, her career as a journalist, her life now as a mom, and we're going to get right into that. But before we do, make sure you guys are following us over on all the socials. We are at Magical Moms Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And if you want to watch our episodes, if you want to see Carly in person, you can watch us on YouTube. You can search Magical Moms Podcast on YouTube. And if you could, please rate and review our podcast if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We appreciate the reviews, helps us get out to more people. And we want to give a quick shout out because we've been doing a new little segment where we give shout outs to listeners that we meet in the park. And Bridget and I were in the park yesterday for all the Star Wars things, and we met Nina. Nina came up to us and said hello. She was so sweet. Nina, hello. Thank you so much for being a listener and a supporter of the podcast. It was so fun chatting with you. I know, Bridget, you got to chat with her a little bit more. I kind of snuck off because I was like, I got to get my picture with Han Solo. But Nina, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, Lindsay and I both love it when people come up to us in the parks and they introduce themselves and when they give feedback on the podcast. It makes us feel like, people are listening and it's really, helping, other moms or other parents or grandparents kind of navigate throughout, the crazy busy Disney, life. So we love it when people come up. So thank you so much, Nina. It was really awesome to meet you.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's meet our guest. She's one of the nation's leading theme park journalists. She is Carly, and she has her very own podcast, Very Amusing with Carly Weisel, where she mixes, humor with global theme park trends and kind of everything else. She kind of just talks about it all, and she is very amusing. I've listened to her podcast, many, many episodes, and I was like working out once, listening to one of her podcasts, and I was just like chuckling, laughing. Like I was like, I can't work out and listen to Carly's podcast at the same time. It might be a little dangerous, just FYI. But she's really done it all. She's written articles for top publications. I mean, listen to this list. Vanity Fair, GQ, the New York Times, Wirecutter, Bloomberg, Time, you name it. This woman's written all about it. And she's really experienced a lot of the exclusive magic. She's had a $15,000 dinner at Disneyland's 21 Royal. She's traveled all over the world. She's been to all the international theme parks. She's cruised everywhere. Every single time I look at Carly, she's off on another fun adventure. Really, she really has. And she's also had some really magical experiences. Like somehow you were snubbed by Kim Kardashian, which that I maybe will say for a little bit later in the podcast, but that sounded really interesting to me.
Yes.
But anyway, Carly's amazing. We're so happy to have her on this podcast. And really, her biggest new role is that she is now a mom to a toddler named Pearl. And Pearl is adorable. She really, really is. She's so cute. I don't know how you say no to her when you're at Disneyland. So anyway, Carly, welcome to the podcast. So let us know. Tell us about yourself.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. That was the wildest, most flattering introduction, considering I just basically these days am like, oh, what do I yell into a phone? That's my job. Like I truly never know how to contextualize it. So I may be just playing that for people the next time a random doctor asks me what I do for a living. Yes, I have been, I guess, CEO of Pearl Industries for 3 years now. It is wild. And as you both know, like it just my life completely changed after I had a child, and I still get to do what I love, but it's totally different. And I do feel like I know the park so much better now. I can't believe there was a time when I went here without a child and I didn't understand it through that lens. And I'm just so happy to be here again because every time I see you guys, we are in chaos mode, which is that's life. That's life right now. So it's so nice. It feels like, oh my God, like we're going on a little vacation together, even if it is only for an hour.
I know. We'll take it. We'll take whatever vacation we can get, right?
Maybe one day we'll have like a dinner or a lunch together where we can like really just relax. I think that'd be super fun. We can swap a lot of stories because I know, Carly, you have a ton. Do you even unpack your suitcase? I just want to know, like, do Do you just go from like?
I didn't. That's so embarrassing. I got back from Dollywood a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Disney World next. And like my plan was to repack it and then just have like all my toiletries ready. But I didn't even unpack to be able to do that yet. I didn't even do that yet.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Fine,
But
you're
no,
going
like,
on the go.
you really are. I mean, Carly, your life just looks so amazing. It really does. I mean, I don't even know how many on Disney cruises you've been on in the last 2 years. I don't know.
I will say
A lot, right?
my daughter has been on, and every time I have to count because it doesn't seem correct, she was on 4 Disney cruises before she turned 3, which
Oh
is
my gosh!
which is almost like somebody
I'm
called
so
the feds on
jealous
me.
of
Like
her.
that's too many. That's too many
I
for.
love it.
She doesn't know what's going on. Like she doesn't understand that that's weird.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
weird.
That's just
Yeah.
normal to her now.
Yeah.
You better
it's-
watch out because she's gonna expect this now.
She's gonna
Dude,
expect
she
it.
did recently. She was like, "Can we go on the cruise this weekend?" And I was like, "Oh, that's not how it works. That's not how it works."
I
Well,
love it, kids.
In my next life, I'm coming back as Pearl. I just
Dude,
want to let you
same.
know.
Same.
I want to come back as Pearl. I mean, I've been on 3, and I am well past being 3 years old. But like, even just like the 3 that I was on, it's so fun. It's so great for kids. I've been telling this to Lindsay. It's kind of like the Disney cruises to me is the best of Disney, and how they handle it, especially with children and parents and everything. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. A hands down amazing trip. And I've talked about this before, but it's the only vacation. I've been a mom for 13 and a half years. It's the only vacation I've ever taken where I'm the one on vacation, where the mom's
get
on
to be on
vacation.
vacation.
And that's really rare. Usually I'm doing the same old thing, just in a different zip code, in a hotel. Like I'm doing the same thing. Well, at Disney Cruise, I was actually like on vacation. Like I was, pampered. And that's kind of nice every once in a while.
God, that's so real.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
Yeah. So anyway, it's so awesome to follow you. And I'm sure everyone can follow you on all the socials. You're just Carly Weisel, right? That's all.
Yeah,
That's
just
what
my
you're-
name. If you can figure out how to spell my name, you can find me anywhere. That's that's kind of how it is. I have a name that was not made for typing into a social media app, but here we are.
It
Thankfully,
works,
all the
right?
handles are available because there's nobody else with it.
It's
Okay.
Carly with an E.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So now, real quick, you had a really amazing career as a journalist, like we've talked about. How how did you start doing that, and how did it kind of shift over to like a Disney mode? Did you just do more Disney, or do you just kind of like how does that work with you being a theme park journalist?
Yes,
'Cause
so
it really
this
is
was a full
interesting
this is a
beat.
full accident. Like this was
Okay.
not supposed to be my life, straight up. I graduated college. I was freelance writing my last 2 years of college. I was ready to be in journalism, like ready to go work in a magazine. While I was in college, I was also working for Sony remotely. I was doing a lot of music journalism. I had a music blog. So I was kind of thinking I would end up more like the magazine world, maybe writing about music, something like that. I got a job offer. I moved to New York right after college. I got a job offer to work at a record label. And I was like, I was going to take whichever industry came first, publishing or music. And music came first. So I took a job there and I worked in music full time for like 3 to 4 years. And then the whole time I was still freelance writing. So I would actually get to the record label. This sounds like, oh my God, a youthful energy. I can't even remember these days. I'm on my second, no, I finished my second coffee of the day. It's 11:18 a.m. So you get it. You get it. I would go to work early and I would freelance at my desk before I started work. And I just was always writing and was kind of like, I was happy in the music industry. That was like one of the dreams that I had. And then after a few years, I was like, I think I miss writing and I want to go back. So I left and I started freelancing full time. And at the beginning, I was doing lifestyle, like beauty, fashion. I did a lot of fitness reporting because there was a really big studio fitness boom in New York City. And then I got engaged and I couldn't figure out where to go for my bachelorette party because my whole life I've been obsessed with this place called Wisconsin Dells. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's basically like,
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm from outside Chicago. And if you wanted to go on vacation without getting on an airplane, you went to Wisconsin Dells. It was like a 3-hour drive and it's the water park capital of the world. And it's just so silly and like everything's themed and it's very fun. It's very like Disney brain, but I didn't know it at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it there, but it was really hard to convince all my friends to fly to Wisconsin in February. Just just not the vibe. So
Sounds great.
I'm not a party girl. I wasn't really going to make everyone go to a Vegas or a Mexico. And my now husband was like, why don't you just go to Disney World? And I'd never been as an adult. I went maybe once or twice as a child, had truly no memories from it, just maybe like glimpses, but it was not at all something that imprinted on me. I was not a Disney fan growing up. I still have not seen all the movies. Like this is random.
Wow.
So I went.
Interesting.
I planned the entire trip because I don't know why. I just was a psycho about it. And I got there and was like, this is the most bizarre, confusing place to plan a trip for. There's so much to know and I don't know it yet and I have to learn everything. And now 11 years later, I still don't feel like I know everything, but that keeps me excited every single day to sit down and do work because I think Disney parks are fascinating and so much fun. And I truly don't know what I would be doing with my life if I didn't randomly go to Florida 11 years ago.
Yeah. So then did you just like fall in love with it and you're like, this is what I want to write about?
Yeah.
Or like
it's really weird. Like there's people who have known me my whole life who like I definitely think they think I had like something happened to me and I'm just like, no, I'm a Disney person. Like it was a very quick shift, but I truly went there and was like, what? What is this place? This is so fun. It was like everything I'd always been searching for in one location. I just didn't really know. I didn't really know how great it was. So I came home and I was freelancing. So I met with an editor who at the time was running Travel and Leisure's website. And I was like, I really want to write about Disney. And this is when magazines were really just starting to boost their online presence. It sounds like it would be truly like in a cave, just like chiseling into the wall stories about Epcot, but it was not that long ago. And so a lot of the like original early Disney stories, like SEO when it first started, all of that, I was just in the right place at the right time and I wrote about everything. And then a few years in, I was like, oh, I guess this is my job now. And so I just was like, I guess I am theme park journalist now. And then it just it never ended. It just never ended.
Oh my gosh. That is such a cool story that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, you turned a dream into a reality. Like you really did. And that's so cool. It's so cool that you get to write about something that you love so much and that people love so much all over the world. Like that is so awesome. You know, I mean, I'm a former journalist and the things that I was talking about was like, destruction and death and taxes and all that stuff. Like that was not fun. It was not fun at all.
That's a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like the fact that you get to talk about, Mickey Mouse or a churro or, what's the coolest bathroom or whatever it is. Like that is so freaking awesome. Like it's just awesome that you got to do that. And how cool and iconic for Pearl to see, her mom, really is such an icon in this whole industry and that you really turned something that you love into a job. I mean, that's awesome. That's an awesome thing that you did.
I mean, thank you. I mean, I did ask her the other day and she thinks my job is to take her to Disneyland, which she thought my job before was to take her to school. So I was like, that's not, that's like 25 minutes of my day. That's not all I'm doing. But I trained her to at least understand that like this is part of my job. But
this is work.
Yeah. I mean, I fully fell into it and I'm so grateful because I also 11 years is a long time. So at the beginning, I was just writing stories for a general audience who's Googling, like, what do I do at Epcot? And then the longer I did it, the more I fell into this beautiful, incredible, truly, I think the best community. And once I fell into that, I was like, oh, I'm a part of all this wonderful passion and fandom. And so now to go from the outside in I just feel so lucky. I feel so lucky.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a life without having, like, even this, like, people who care about the same things we do, but also love helping people plan their trips and, like, also want to know the stories behind everything. It's just, it's so wonderful. every day I feel so lucky.
Oh,
That's so
I love
cool. That is
it's
so
luck,
awesome.
but it's also hard work. Like
It
you
is.
obviously put in, you put in the work.
Put in the work.
I don't know how to edit a video. How did I get here? But we just pick up our phones and we learn, and you just keep on learning.
You learn as you go.
I mean that's absolutely it. Like people really don't see the work that goes into it, but it's funny whenever I'm like editing a reel or a video, or whatever. My husband goes, "Oh, you're making your little music videos again," because he hears like the songs like over and over and over, and he's like, "You make music videos," and I'm like,
no.
I guess. Like I never thought I'd be doing
a
that.
lot more.
But there's a lot of work that goes into it, and you're constantly working. working.
Yeah.
I mean, Carly, I mean, you
So are
definitely.
you guys. You get it.
Yeah, you do. You work a lot, and it's awesome. And I've read. I've been a reader of your articles, and I've been, like I said, a watcher of the podcast and everything. And you
Which is
are
so
just
flattering. I
so
did not know
hardworking.
that before this recording, everybody.
Oh yeah,
by the way.
absolutely, of course,
Shocking.
of course. You're the best part of Disney. You're fun. You're informative, and you're
That's
quirky.
part of Disney.
I love it.
You both are. You both are.
And your podcast truly is very amusing.
It's so
it really
funny.
is. Like
It's
I
so
listened to
funny.
it, and like Bridget said, you're like laughing out loud. You're like, oh, you make like something so mundane seem so so funny, and so like you put a twist on everything. That's just so like I want to be a part of that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. I mean, I'm sure you can
Yeah.
relate. I did not expect to be so passionate about the teeniest, tiniest things.
Mhm.
And yet, here we are.
Exactly.
Here we are
Exactly.
talking
So-
about Disney.
Exactly. And so now, okay, you've done Disney so much solo, so much as an adult, right?
Mhm.
But now you have Pearl.
Yeah.
So definitely my question, I have to ask this question is, how is your Disney day different now that you're a mom? And what's like the one thing that you wish you knew before becoming a mom about going to Disney? Like what's the one thing that surprised you the most?
My Disney day is the absolute inverse of what it used to be. Like, I'm talking black and white. I used to go.
Yeah, what did
I
it
was-
look like before? That's
Dude,
yeah.
I moved to LA, I think like 9 or 10 years ago.
Okay.
So this remember a time before when you didn't have to make park reservations. You could just show
Once upon
up.
a time, yeah.
Yeah, and so I would get a text from a friend who was like, the park's dead, and I would just get in my car and drive to the park and hang out with friends until like midnight and go on
Yeah.
rides. It was all about really it's like when you get extreme Disney World planning brain. I had that for Disneyland where I was like, we got to do it all. Like we have to do every single ride. When I was there, we had to do as much as possible. And we would chill, we would still hang out, but it was really ride centric. Now I went, so I took oh my God, how did I really take her this many times? Hold on. Took her Sunday, took her Tuesday. I took her 3 times last week, which is rare. That does not happen, but it just kind of happened
You can't
that
do
way.
it. You do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we went on 2 rides total over 3 visits. Like we literally these days, especially like January, February, the park is kind of dead. You can get away with a lot. But like right now, when those SoCal tickets are winding down, there's a lot of people in the park. We just didn't really wait. She just wanted to run around Toontown and hang out, and that's what we did. I just treat it kind of like a mall that I pay an entry fee for, and it's so great. I think if before I looked at that, I'd be like, "You're doing it wrong," and now I'm like, what bliss to just be in this environment all day and have it be easy. It's so nice to be in a safe environment with a child. It's so nice. I feel very great that there are water fountains and bathrooms everywhere. That it is one of the rare public kid-friendly spaces where, like, if anything happens, you just like scream and a cast member will appear. Like it just feels great. That makes me very happy. And it's kind of it's not what I anticipated when I thought I'd bring a kid. I thought we'd be like, we gotta get on Pirates. But it's been great. But the one thing I wish I knew before I brought her, I mean, I really was I was sleeping on Toontown. I didn't appreciate Toontown because it wasn't for me. I would just be like that abyss back there that has one ride I like to go on. I mean, this is before Runaway Railway. But I really didn't realize, like, especially the new Toontown, I didn't realize how great that would be and how just being in a Disneyland environment, there's so much happening already. Like, you can just on the walk back for her to go on a slide. I can see a horse. I can see the Pearly Band. I can get a cold brew. Like, there's so much happening beyond the rides. And I really thought that it would be that it would be like not as fun if she wouldn't do it, but just being there was great. Also, we got to talk about something related to something I wish I knew. So I have a toddler. She's, I mean, is there ever an end to potty training? Like we've potty trained, but there's no end. They talk about that it happens in a weekend.
Yeah. No.
In a weekend?
Yep.
Absolutely not.
I have a 3.5-year-old and we've been potty training for like 9, and it's a boy. So it's like I don't know. I've done both girls and boys potty training, and the boy thing is just hard. And unfortunately my husband taught West that boys can go to the bathroom whenever they want because they can, right? They physically
whenever, wherever. Yeah.
Whenever, wherever. So the last time that I took him to Toontown, he saw the beautiful fake tree. And all of a sudden I look over and he's pulling down his pants. And I'm like, no. Oh my gosh, no.
That's pants for life. No.
You cannot pee on a Toontown tree. Like
Anywhere
you cannot
but in
do
Disneyland.
this.
No
Yes.
Disneyland.
Yes.
And then I'm like grabbing him. I'm like running to my husband. I'm like, why did you teach him this? And I'm just like running to the bathroom. It's just so much fun.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
that is so
I didn't know that
dangerous.
story. Oh,
That is so dangerous. But
Yeah.
I have learned the hard way that because
Yeah.
I didn't before. There was like a time when I didn't know what a toddler potty was. There was this blissful
yeah.
time when like
Mhm.
I saw a friend post about it and I just erased it from my brain. Didn't know
Yeah,
what it was.
Yeah.
Now I didn't know that you can't really bring them into Disneyland.
Yeah. Absolutely.
it's
yeah.
tricky.
It's
But
tricky.
there is a
It's
toddler
big.
party in the baby center. You do know
In
that,
the baby center,
right?
they have the
Okay.
little ones.
Here's the thing, guys.
Yeah.
I am not walking my wiggly child across the park to wait in line to use a toilet. It's not happening. I
Yeah.
used it for the changing tables when I was like, ooh, I would
Yes.
just want like an elegant experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I'm not
Yeah.
walking. Like getting her anywhere is so tricky these days. No. But
Yeah.
I have like the collapsible, like the one where you go bloop, and it
Yeah.
can double as a toilet seat. So when I'm
Mhm.
there, I use it as a toilet seat. But
Mhm.
if you bring the bags, they will take away the bags or tell you you can't use them. And it doesn't make any sense to me because if I can throw out a poopy-filled diaper in any garbage can at Disneyland, why can I not use a toddler potty with a bag that holds the same stuff?
Oh, so
Good question.
so I never brought one of those.
I never brought one either.
I brought like a like it was like it goes over the toilet seat. It was like a little like
Yes.
collapsible thing,
Mhm.
and I would bring that. I brought that with Cern a couple times because like one time she almost fell in. And it
You
was a
guys
whole
are better
thing.
than me because I didn't
And it
bring
was a whole
any of that.
thing. But then I didn't do it with my other two because they're boys, so it's a whole different thing. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing with security.
Isn't that
At
weird?
Disneyland.
And I think
Yeah.
I would literally put them on the toilet and I'd be like, put your
Like
hands on my
holding them?
shoulders, and I would just hold them.
yes.
See, and that was it. And then I'd always try and get like the bigger bathroom so that there was room for me and her to like sit
Yeah.
there, and then just do her thing and get out of there.
Yeah, because we
Pro
we
tip,
trained.
just
We trained on
hold
this
them.
like one. It's a collapsible potty that does
Yeah.
the seat, or it does you put a
Yeah.
bag in it, and it's a little toilet,
Oh.
and that's what we use at home.
Yeah,
And so I was shocked when I was like, "What do you mean I can't bring this
we did Disneyland.
in?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "It's an
didn't know that.
Anaheim, some sort of like city health code," and I'm like, "Have you seen a diaper?" Like. It's so weird. And so
Yeah.
that is the one thing I really wish I would have known before I showed up one day and was like, she does not know how to go on these regular toilets.
I can't bring
What
my
we
toilet
did?
I mean, like dogs are allowed at Disneyland, and they have like that. Like okay,
There's like the
This
little
is-
release areas.
huh? Yeah.
It's
And
weird.
you know what? It's so fun now that you say that. They really should have like at least 2 toddler toilets in Toontown.
And
Listen,
yeah. Or
okay.
just
They
other
really
parts of the park
should.
too.
dude, they need to have toddler toilets
They
in all the
should, yeah.
bathrooms. They
Mhm.
need to have the
Yeah.
step stools so you can get to the sink
Yes.
in every
That would be
bathroom.
so helpful.
Yeah, that's so
So
helpful. It's
helpful.
so hard to
Because you're
pick them
trying
up,
to
and then
hold them
their
to wash
shirt
their
gets
hands.
wet,
Yes.
and
And
their
then they're
shirt
like,
gets
my
wet right
tummy,
here.
my tummy.
Yes, my tummy,
Yep.
and then they get impaled.
Yeah.
You're like, sorry.
Yes.
Like they have them. I've seen them at Disney World before. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they
I
have
don't know
them?
why they don't
Yeah.
have. It's so weird. There's so many basic things that once you have a potty trained kid, you're like, I thought this was a place for families. Like, what is
Right.
happening here?
That's true. I
That's
didn't
so
even
funny.
think
I
about
didn't-
that.
I've just always like, held them, heard them complain,
Yep.
and you're just like, okay, you're done.
It's so
Yeah.
weird. Why are there not like just like 3 stalls in every bathroom that also
Yeah.
have a top like something? Something.
Yeah.
Oh, never thought about that.
Wow.
Never thought about that.
That's what
Well,
I was
Carly,
doing. That's
write
what I'm-
an article.
That's what I'm
Write an
passionate
article.
about.
Get it changed.
I need to. I just need to yell about it more.
Yeah, I'm serious because it makes total sense. I mean, and they do have it at Walt Disney World, and they even have the hand washing it's like a little kickstand thing. They have that on the cruise ships, or the cruise ships that I've been on, the Fantasy and the Treasure.
Oh, that's nice.
So I've seen them, there. So, but you're right. Like, oh, it's such a pain in the butt to have, and you want their hands to be washed.
I know.
Yeah.
Like they touch everything. They touch everything.
Everything.
And so, yeah, you're right. Well,
pretty-
Carly, you're gonna make the change. I know you'll make the change for sure.
Carly, I'm going to switch gears here real quick because I have a question for you because I'm just genuinely curious. What is one of like the coolest things that you have gotten to do as a journalist, specifically Disney? Like, I'm sure there's a ton of stuff, but like
Yeah.
specifically talking about Disney, like what's one of the coolest things you've gotten to do?
I
Or
think
like top 3 or whatever.
the thing that will always be so wild to me is that I got to go to the opening of Shanghai Disney, and
Ooh,
that one
wow.
is really special because that's the first time in my lifetime that an entire Disney resort has opened. There's been many openings. There's been lands, there's been expansions, but it was nothing, and then it was Shanghai Disney. And so that was crazy. And then
What
you
year was
add in the
that?
fact that like that was almost 10 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So weird. It
Oh,
feels
so
like
that
it was
was like
5.
at the start of your career.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a few years in, and I
Wow.
remember being
That's
like,
so cool.
am I gonna get invited? Am I gonna invite? And then like they mailed an invite, and like the post office couldn't find it. And I was like, what? What's gonna happen? And it was so wild though, because it was I mean, it was in what 20, I guess it was 2016, 2017, 2016, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think there were only 5 or 6 reporters who were traveled there through Disney. Like Disney invited a few people. I think I freelanced for, I want to say it was 9 publications on that trip. I just like came back and was like, like any magazine who had coverage of that opening came from me. Like it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
Wow.
But also it was a place that you had to travel where you had to get a journalist visa to be able to attend.
Yeah.
We had to use VPNs because our phones wouldn't work. Like it was so much work and so wild. And because the internet was different back then, like usually now, like we'd be like on top of it and be seeing what locals were posting on their social media platforms and really know before the park. It was really hard to get information about the park before we went. And so we showed up and I was like, okay, time to walk the park and learn every detail.
Figure it all out.
And get every photo and get every note. So that was the craziest thing I've done, to be like this is all new.
Yeah.
That was wild.
That's so cool.
But I don't think anything could ever compare to that. Was crazy. Though my favorite, was I got to go to the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Disney World.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's this thing that happens during some ride openings when they're opening a new ride and like your schedule's a little loose. And so they recommend you ride during like a 1 or 2 hour window. But it's like sometimes the ride is just open, and then if you don't leave, you can just keep riding it. And so I think I rode it 21 times in a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like probably had a concussion, but it was so worth it. Like I was just I was like again, just on it so many times because I knew it was like, if I don't do this immediately, it's never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
Did you
I
get
would
like
be
every
so
song?
sick.
Oh yeah, I didn't feel
yeah.
great. I didn't feel great. I just like stopped eating. I was like, no, we'll eat dinner later. Like we got to do the ride.
Oh my gosh, that is really, really cool.
That's so funny.
That was a highlight.
Yeah, that Lindsay, that's a ride I always tell you that you would love the most.
I know. I haven't been to Walt
especially-
Disney World since I was in kindergarten.
Oh my God, we have to get you there. You would freeze.
I know, right?
I know.
I keep on telling Lindsay, like when we go, I want to be there when she goes to Walt Disney World for the first time because all I'm going to do is look at her expressions to everything. But she's going to be like, oh my gosh, the castle. Oh my gosh, this. Oh my gosh, this. Oh my gosh, this. And I cannot wait to see her reaction because it's literally like, you're just like.
I'll lead people there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's like so many things you have to see.
I know. Well, see, I need to go with somebody who knows what they're doing too, because I don't want to just go by myself and be like, now what?
Oh my God.
I want to know what I'm doing. I want to know, like, I want to have a plan. So
I need to hear the podcast of this trip. I need to hear that.
Yeah,
okay.
I know, right?
Plan the trip first.
It was funny because the first time that I went back as an adult with kids was 3 years ago. Sorry, 2 years ago. And we did like a Disney cruise. And then I really wanted to go to Walt Disney World and take my littlest Wes to get his first haircut because they have that barber shop on Main Street. And I was like, what do you mean you can get a haircut on Main Street? And what do you mean if it's their first haircut, they get like a special hat and they get like a locket of hair? I was like, oh my gosh. And then it costs like $25. I mean, I would have paid $250. Like, I was like, what? So like, this is what we're doing. And so we didn't cut his hair. We like waited way too long. And I was so excited. That was the very first thing that we were doing at Walt Disney World after we got off the cruise ship. And so I planned it meticulously, right? We were going to leave the hotel and then we were going to get there by 10:30 in the morning, Well, I didn't know that you had to take the shuttle, the ferry, the monorail, I was like, where is it? Like, I can see the castle. How do I get there? It took us so long that I completely blew the appointment, right? Because I just didn't know that it was going to take a plane, train, and automobile to get to Walt Disney World. And then I walked in, I was like almost in tears because we'd been like, this is like the whole plan was around this haircut. Yeah. And I walked in and the barber was so sweet. I'm like, I'm a Disneylander. I'm sorry, I'm late. I didn't know it was good. I had to take a boat. I didn't know. And he's like, it happens all the time. Don't worry. And they got us in.
Oh, I'm
But
so glad.
it was so stressful as a Disneylander to not realize how hard it is to go from one park to another or one spot to get there. It really is an adventure.
Yeah, we're so spoiled here because you're like,
very
you look
spoiled.
here and you got Disneyland and you look here and you got Disney California
That's
Adventure.
so
It's just
easy.
like, that's it.
You can just zoom anywhere you want. Like
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my God. I feel for you because I have the same brain and I am growing my child's hair out until her haircut there in June.
Oh,
And-
yay.
Love it. And I have a 10:30 reservation. And when I tell you I am actively stressed about being somewhere at 10:30 in the morning in June, it's not even May. I'm already stressed about it for that exact reason because
Carly,
it's so complicated.
our reservation was 10:30 in the morning. Yes. It was. I swear to you. I swear it was. I
And
swear
you're like,
it
that
was.
should, in any world, that should be enough time.
I know. I was
And-
like, oh,
and
that'll be
yet-
so easy and da-da-da-da-da. No.
I'm already
it
stressed.
wasn't.
I'm already stressed. And like the plan is that I'm going to commit. I'm sorry for Disneyland people, but like I'm just going to explain like a little bit of kookiness. So like I already decided I'm going to pay for a minivan, which is like
yeah.
Disney's
Oh, yeah.
partnership with
Oh, yeah.
Lyft because they can drop you at the bus loop at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
So if you pay for that, like you can get there quicker, but it's sometimes
Oh.
up to 35 minutes to get one. So I'm already
Oh my
like,
gosh.
what do I call it? What do I do? And it's like months away. It's months away.
June, I hate to stress you out more, but June is actually not that far away.
Oh my God. I hate
Tomorrow is
that.
May 1st. I'm sorry.
No!
Yeah. I mean, as a mom, I feel like,
Hate to
I mean,
burst
it's
your
going to
bubble.
be October tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, it's already halfway to Halloween. I'm like, it's tomorrow. Forget it.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we are. That's
God.
awesome. Okay. So now, real quick,
Yes.
as a mom,
Mhm.
what are your top 3 tips of taking a kid to Disneyland?
So my main philosophy when it comes to taking a kid to a Disney park and to Disneyland is that you just have to focus on one thing. Like really set the bar as low as possible. Have one thing that you hang all of your hopes and dreams on. And it's like, if we accomplish that, the rest of the day is gravy. And I always like to have a few backup things. Like at Disneyland, because it's easier to move around, I have extended it to 2 or 3 things a day. But just making sure it's like, we are doing this one thing today. That is our focus. And if we get to do anything else, it's nice. That has helped me so much and really been like my go-to planning tip. For example, about a week and a half ago, we went to Disney California Adventure and it was like, we are meeting Nick and Judy. Like we are doing the Zootopia character meet. That is the goal. And I'm so glad that I just set it on that because it took so long to get into the park. We didn't realize it was Dapper Day. The parking was a lot. Like we made it there. There was a few sets in the app, like a few times when the characters were appearing.
Yeah.
Blew past the first one. The second one, we were there. I didn't realize that the characters are super popular right now because of the movie. Duh. And so the sequel. And so like we got in line and we were the last person before it got cut. And so I already, but it was, the cast members could not have been nicer. They let us take a little like walk away photo. They were so kind.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, I'm so glad we didn't plan anything because we are coming back for the next one so that we can guarantee we do this.
Yeah.
And it took
Yeah.
like 4 hours of maneuvering to be able to make it happen, but we made it happen. But if
Yeah.
I had scheduled a whole day, if I had put in like dining reservations, if I did anything else,
Yes.
it would have blown it. So that's like my
Yeah.
number one tip is like, that's the one thing we did. That was our one objective and we got it done.
Yeah.
My number 2 tip maybe shows you how I have survived. Know where the nearest best caffeine is at all times. At all times. At
Running
all
on
times.
caffeine.
Yeah.
Because you don't really want to be like, I had to do this week because I was like, I know there's a seasonal cold brew and I can't remember where it is. Like going through the mobile order of every single restaurant and being like, what can I get? Just know.
I recently did that.
Yes. And it's like, oh, it was the tiramisu one. Like that was I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out where it was. Just know, just like have it in your back pocket. Be like, these are my options available to me within walking distance that I can
Yeah.
kind of maneuver through.
I love that.
And then the third one is something that I had always like ambiguously thought in my mind, but it was just, God, who told it to me? Oh my God. I'm blanking out who told it to me. I'm so sorry. But the phrasing of it was like something that was told to them and then they said it to me and I'm like, that's it. Is that you only bring the same kid to Disneyland once.
Yes.
The only one. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your kid is
Mhm.
different every time you bring them
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
And I think that is so helpful to remember because sometimes I'll be like, do we need to go? Like, I don't know, it's a drive. It's a
Yeah.
drive. And it's like, I'm going to look back on every single one of these trips and be like, oh my God, they were so small. Oh my God, it was so special. Oh my God, it was so
Yeah.
great. And when she was really young, I would be like, I just, I had a lot of hormones. And so I was like a little intense. And so I'd be like, she needs to wear the special outfit to the special thing at the park. And I think everyone thought I was kookaloonie. And now I look back and I'm like, Heck
Mhm.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad because she was
I did that.
only there. That was the
Mhm.
one time. That was like the one time to capture it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad I did.
And I
I
can tell you
know.
too, Carly, as somebody, because I know, Bridget, you still have West. So
Uh-huh.
all of my kids, I have an 11, a 9, and a 5-year-old. So the 5-year-old's in kindergarten full time now. So this is the first year where I have not been able to take him like once a week because we would go when his sisters were in school. So this has been like a very transitional year for me. And I can just tell you that, like, I'll probably get emotional saying it, but like I miss the days so much of being able to like just hop in the car and take him for a few hours. Like those were like the best memories I have. I still look back on like pictures and videos and I'm like, gosh, I was going once or twice a week and I'm like, I wish I went 4 times a week, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like you just don't get that time back. And I crave it so much. I crave just being able to go for 6 hours in the middle of a day on a Tuesday, you know, without feeling like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to pull them out of school and they're missing this practice. And it's like, so just live it up. Live it up.
Yeah.
I appreciate this because we were on the fence
Yeah.
about like currently she's in preschool 3 days a week and we were like, do we change her hours? Do we maybe do 5 days a week? And I was like, I need those empty days
No,
just
keep
in
'em.
case. Just in
Yeah.
case.
That's
I mean,
literally what we did.
all-
3 days
that's
a
what we
week.
did.
So I
3
could
days
have
a
2
week.
days to do fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to be in school, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, for forever. I mean, and then they're going to go to college. Like, it's like, that's really what it is. I mean, honestly, like, I know, I'm sorry. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. So that's like a whole different thing. But like, I mean, I cherish the days of when Surin and Max were little. And we did. And not only that, I've always made it a point where, especially before they get to high school, is taking them out for a Disney day, like letting them have like that fun because I mean, it's third grade or it's fifth grade. I mean, come on. Like, okay,
Yeah.
like, the triangles and the shapes and the colors or whatever. Like, I mean, I don't mind missing a day for a special occasion or whatever. Like we always do a holiday day because, the parks can get really, really crazy the holidays. And so we choose a random Wednesday or Thursday and then they don't go to school that day. And all we do are holiday stuff, stuff like that. Like I try to do things like that because I can just see it. I can just see her going into high school and it's done.
Just so
Like I'm done
fast,
with
yeah.
that.
Oh my
So it's
God.
hard, but so many evenings after Jack goes to sleep, I'm just scrolling on my phone looking at 2017 or 2018, which is my favorite Disney year. That's the year that like Mickey turned 90. I don't know if you remember that year. Carly,
Yep.
do you remember that year? That
Yep.
was like the best Disney year.
Yeah.
Mickey
it was
was
fun.
turning 90. They were doing so many fun things in Toontown. They had the best treats. It was just the best
I think it was
year.
Pixar Fest.
Anyway.
It was the original Pixar
Yes,
Fest.
we
I think
had-
it was 2018.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we had Max Pass, which
Mhm.
Oh,
I
Max.
loved Max Pass so much. Like
The best
I
pass.
loved it. In between Fast Pass and Genie and Lightning Lanes, we had the beautiful Max Pass for $100
Yeah.
an add-on
$100
for
for the year.
$100
For the year.
for the year.
On your
I'm
pass,
like-
you didn't have to make reservations from also. Like
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Yes,
it didn't
exactly.
matter. Like, yeah, you just showed up.
Yep, absolutely. And it was so funny. I always talk about how people have high expectations going to Disneyland. And sometimes when you think it's going to be horrible because you think it's going to be crowded or you think it's going to be hot, those actually turned out to be some of the best days that I've ever had. And because it forces you to do things you didn't think that you were going to do. Like, oh, it's so crowded. Let's do those things. They're canoes. Like, let's do them. And little did I know that the canoe is not on a track. You
Yeah,
are
that's-
actually doing it.
I was with you until you said canoes because you will never catch me on
I was
those.
going to
but-
say Mark Twain.
yeah,
All
like
up
a
on the
tiki,
Mark
like
Twain
a
on a
tiki
busy
room,
day.
like a tiki room.
Yeah.
That's how I got into the canoes the first time because it was so busy in the park and I was like, let's do something different, and the guy was
I
just
still have
screaming at me
never
the whole
done them.
time because I was like, what? Like he was just yelling at me the whole time.
Yeah,
But,
I'm not here to like exercise
Yeah.
and be yelled at while I'm at the parks. Not a chance.
No. And they will,
Oh
and
my
they
God.
will really roast you if you're not putting in the work. So just FYI, guys. But no, like
Good
sometimes
to
those are the
know.
most magical days. So anyway, I was
Yeah.
okay. Now moving on because we can't end this podcast without hearing the Kardashian story. We can't.
Yes, can we hear it?
Yes, of course. I'm like, what bits of memory do I have that I can cobble together? So I don't remember. This must have been maybe I was still living in New York at the time, so maybe it was 2015, 2016.
Okay.
I was working a lot for a website called Racked, which is no longer around, but rocked. It was so fun. I worked with my editor Julia, who's now a close friend of mine, and basically they were all about like weird, fun, wacky stories. It was just like anything that would be so fun to write. They sent me on a Zumba cruise. It was just a lot of these like bizarre, like big, fun, reported, but still silly, goofy stories.
Yeah.
And so they were like, do you want to go on a jet for the day to go interview Kim Kardashian? And I said, you bet I do. And it was a promotion for an energy drink, which, keep in mind, Kim was quite pregnant at the time. And you're definitely not supposed to be drinking energy drinks when you're pregnant. So we got on, they sold it as like a private plane. And I was like, I'm going on a private plane. It was a commuter plane that they bought out. Like, it was kind of like if you take a plane on a 2-hour flight between cities, it was that, not as special, totally fine. So we go on this plane to Nashville. And like all of us are just a bunch of reporters and we're like, what is this? Like, we got no details. We had no idea what was happening. We didn't have assigned times with Kim. We didn't know what was going on. So we all just went to this, like, I think we were like stuck in a honky tonk just for a few hours as holding. And then there was this outdoor big event for the energy drink. And Kim was going to show up and we were all going to get our interview time with her. And it was chaos. Like, it was just a clump of people and she was kind of like snaking her way through. And I'm blanking on the exact details. I'm sure I've written it down somewhere in the story. You know, the story might still be active online or like available through the Wayback Machine. But essentially, like, this gigantic bodyguard asked me what I was going to ask her. A few things were off limits and I said something that was not allowed. And he's like, you're not interviewing her. And I was like, I got on a plane this far. I mean, literally, like, my only job is we didn't have the story.
Oh my
the
gosh.
story was like, we'll see what happens. And I was like, I need to talk
you need
to her.
something.
I flew here to speak to her. And so, like, I keep, like, apologizing. I was like, I promise I won't talk about this. I won't talk about that. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I just had to get in the door. Obviously, as a journalist, you know that you would maybe say that to a bodyguard acting as a PR person, and then maybe you would just ask a question at the end and sleep it in and it'd be fine. But I was like, I gotta get in front of her. And so eventually I did, and I asked her, I was like, how do you do it all? Like, I think he said I had one question. And so because it was an energy drink thing, I was like, how do you have the energy to do it all? And she basically was like, I'm exhausted. And so I was like talking to Kim Kardashian at an energy drink event in a different state than I lived in, that I was only there for a few hours, being like, hey, girly, tell me about energy drink. And she's like, I'm so tired. I'm pregnant and exhausted. And then I was like, sounds good. Thank you. And then we flew home. And then I just wrote about the entire experience because it was the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I feel like the energy drink doesn't even exist anymore.
I did it fail after that?
I don't even know. It was so weird, top to bottom, start to finish. And then, like, me and a handful of other reporters just like went to, like, all of them just like sang at a bar. Like, we just like hung out at a bar in Nashville, like listening to live music, being like, what is this job? And then
what are we doing?
Yeah.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff I used to write, which kind of explains how I ended up, like in Disney, in that sphere.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh. I think that's absolutely hilarious. And she could have easily said, well, I wouldn't be so exhausted if I could drink this energy drink.
I thought she was going to lie.
Yeah.
I fully thought she was going to lie. Wait, now I'm like, okay, not to like Google while on an interview, but hold on. Oh no. Oh no, did I Google? Oh no. Oh, I'm still here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still here. Trying to see if I can.
That is so hilarious though.
It was
so funny.
That was one of the weirdest assignments.
Yeah,
I'd ever
you must have
gotten.
been like, what is happening? What?
The weirder the assignment, the more I want to do it. That's,
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Okay, I think Racked has been like bounced from the internet. But it's Oh my God. Ew.
Is it not?
Ew, I just Googled it and like an AI summary of me talking about it once came up. I don't like that.
Oh, no. I know. AI is getting a little scary.
A summary
Maybe
of
good if it remembers things better than I do. Yeah, that's I get.
Yeah.
Oh God. And then I
that is
shifted
crazy.
to cover Disney. Okay, I don't like that. That's weird. Anyway.
So you know what's crazy? It's like, we have AI, we have all this technology, we can send, astronauts, all over space, blah, 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 blah. But nobody can solve the great paddlefish mystery of who in a scuba suit robbed the Paddlefish, which is a restaurant along the water at Disney Springs at Walt Disney World. And in a scuba suit, swam through crocodile, I'm pretty sure, infested water, or alligator, I don't know. And basically what did they tie up the employees?
There was something, there was some sort
Something
of like
with the employees.
them.
And then robbed the restaurant of all the cash and then slipped back into the water and just swam away. And no one's been able to solve this crime.
No. It's so weird.
So weird.
My thinking was like, oh, they're so good at diving, they just can't find them. And then I had Scott Gustin, Twitter's own Scott Gustin. He came on my podcast a few weeks ago, and it was like one of the things we talked about. And he Scott in his news brain, he's like, it seems like they might know who it is, but maybe they don't have proof. And I was like, oh. He said something like that. Not to quote him. He said something like in that vein. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, I guess it was maybe if it was an inside job.
Inside, yes.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
We have like evidence, but I'm also like, inside job? You mean someone like took a job there and then was like, oh, I can scuba my way in? Like, I almost feel like we don't want to be restraining any employees. We don't want any harm, but like, I almost feel like you deserve the money. Like, if
That's what I said.
if you figured out how to get into this boat that is just stuck there, then you got in, you got money, and you got out, and nobody physically caught you. I kind of feel like enjoy.
and you didn't get attacked by an alligator. So right by Paddlefish is a restaurant, which is my favorite restaurant, Boathouse. I love the Boathouse so much. I adore it. And I will only eat there if I'm eating outside along the water. Like, I will wait hours for a very specific table because I want a very specific table along the water. I'm very weird about my tables.
No, you are not weird. That restaurant is so loud inside. I completely agree with you. Yeah.
And it's like beautiful in the boat, the whatever thing. And it's just, I don't know, I love it. Anyway, so the last time that we were there, Max was just very intent, like, he was just very intent over looking over the railing. And he's like, oh, look, there's an alligator. I was like, wait, what? What? And there was like he's like, do you think I can give it some bread? And I'm like, no, don't do that. Is it like seagulls? Like, once you start, like everyone's gonna come. Like, no, don't do that. And that is very close to Paddlefish. That restaurant is right there. It's like the same body of water that they share.
Oh, so I don't think I could ever go in a body of water in Florida because I would just fear there'd be an alligator in it.
Yeah, and I was just
what
like,
if a big bag of money was involved?
I don't know.
Then, I might be a little nervous. What if you were swimming your way to treasure inside a restaurant?
I mean, the guy at one point, or the girl, the lady, or the woman or the man, whoever it is, it definitely has like the coolest story to tell ever. And he or she will be at a bar one day in the future and be like, I have to tell somebody that I'm the coolest person. Like, I'm the 007 of Disney Springs.
It's just so, but like when that story came out, I was like, surely that cannot be real. Like, that's a movie. That can't be real. And when I did that episode with Scott, I was like, did any new news come out? And I guess one of the local outlets, I forget which one it was, they looked into it and they're like, there hasn't been any updates to the story, but apparently the police are still investigating it. So it's like active on the back end. Like they haven't closed it. They haven't closed the case. It's still
How long ago was this? I feel like it was a while ago.
I don't remember. Now that I
9
don't
months
sleep
ago?
the way I used to, I don't remember how time works.
Time is just like this nonsensical thing.
I can only see 4 hours ahead. Once I became a parent, it's like the next 4 hours. I literally texted a friend this morning. I was like, oh, we have dinner tonight. Didn't know.
Like, okay, sure.
That is literally what I say all the time. I'm like, I literally live one day at a time. I have something to go to tomorrow. Okay, I'm overnight Amazoning like something to the door so that I can go.
Yep. That's exactly how it is.
That's just how we live.
Yeah. I know. That's why it's like, I will say, going to Disneyland versus Walt Disney World with kids is a lot easier. And I always say, Walt Disney World, I mean, you got to get your reservations. You really have to have the plan. But Disneyland to me is very much Southern California, like the surfer mentality, like, hey, I'm just going to show up, and I'm going to like do this, I'm going to do that, and like just very relaxed. And I so appreciate that with kids, like with little kids, I so appreciate having that park and just having like the ease of it. So
Fantasyland alone, like I never looked at that place the way I do now. Before I'd be like, there's just a bunch of rides. And now I'm like, what is this small oasis where Lightning Lane cannot touch it? Because there's physically not enough space for them to do Lightning Lane. So we have all of these kid-friendly, basically like all ages rides that you can you have to just show up and make no plans for.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's true.
Yeah,
it is amazing. It is amazing. We're all so lucky. We're very lucky to be moms at Disneyland. And we're also, again, we're so lucky to have you, Carly, on this podcast. We are, this has been so much fun. Yeah. I chuckled so much today. I'm so happy. My whole day is great now.
Great way to do it. I never get to yell about potties and sinks. Like I
Where
so
are your
happy.
girls?
It's a place to do it.
I'm
Where are your
so
girls?
happy.
If you ever are just at the parks and you're like, I need to complain to somebody about the potty, just text us, please.
Yes.
Because we feel your pain. We
Yes.
do.
It's just wild. It's just
get it.
just wild. Like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Okay. The petition, the official petition of having more toddler potties at the Disneyland Resort needs
We'll
to happen.
start it. We got 3
agree.
signatures right now.
They should be
That's
everywhere.
it, we're
Also,
done.
did you know, like, in Japan, they have places in the bathroom where if you have a baby, you can, like, put them there?
What?
There's, like, a little attachment on the wall. I'm pretty sure they had it at Tokyo Disney. They definitely had it in Japan. There's, like, a little
No.
seat on the wall that you plop your baby in while you go to the bathroom.
What? Oh my gosh. They're doing
This is
everything
news.
right. I'm telling you, they really are.
Can you imagine, like, before your kid could stand or walk, you have to go to the bathroom? You
It was
just,
the
like,
worst.
Oh,
Just
I
put them down?
literally I had to use like the handicap stall and bring the
Yep.
stroller in with me,
Yep.
and then you're like squished. You're like
Yes.
trying to make it all
yes,
work.
and then you feel so guilty because if somebody
Yep.
who needs that stall is
Yes,
waiting
yes.
outside,
and I'm like
Mhm.
trying to hurry, come
You're
out like
stressed,
sweating.
and you're like, "Ah!"
oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
every time.
sorry. I
Every
can't leave
time.
my baby.
Yeah. The fantasy, right? The bathrooms right by the Fantasyland Theater.
Mhm.
If you, there's one stall, and it's not actually a handicap stall, and it's on the right, and it has a
family.
sink inside of it, and it's big enough
I
for
know
a
exactly
double
what you're
stroller.
Mhm.
exactly what you're talking about.
And I would wait. I would be like waiting, like on like going like this, like go back and forth because I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I would just sit there and wait for that to open. I'm like, you can go,
Yeah.
you can go. I need that one. You can go.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. And also, like, why are the baby, okay, sorry to, like, at the end of the episode be like, here are all my thoughts.
yeah.
Why
We're
are all
done.
the baby changing stations, one, awful, and then two, so small,
Mhm.
little too
So
small.
small.
They're just like a
Mhm.
little, like, have they never met a long baby? Like, just a little too
Yes.
small.
Yes.
It's
Or
so
even
weird.
that, but you also have your diaper bag. Like you
Yes.
need
Yeah.
I got to put the stuff somewhere. I don't want to put it
Yeah.
on the floor. It's gross. So I'm like wearing it, where it's like over my shoulder, but like in
Yes.
front of me, and you're like digging
Yeah.
through and you're trying to change and
Mhm.
Yeah.
keep everything clean. And
I mean, really, like the
Good
whole
times.
point of this is that your kid just can't go to the bathroom at Disneyland. I mean, they just can't go to the bathroom at Disneyland. Sorry.
No, it's
it
true.
is an adventure in its own.
It's
true.
an adventure.
It's very true.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that restroom stall needs a lightning lane at Fantasyland Theater. Like
Yeah.
I would actually use it. I'd be like, no, I need that. Thank you.
Perfect.
But yeah, thank you so much, Carly, for being on this
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you so
and-
much.
Of course,
We
thank you
really
for coming.
appreciate
This
it.
was truly a delight. It was so much fun, and hopefully we can actually hang out, not when it's like news is happening and then we're all running in
Yes.
circles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll find a day to
absolutely.
go have lunch at Disney, and we'll just have
Chic.
a nice, relaxing Disney
Oh.
Girls' Day.
Yes,
So nice.
and we'll use the big girl potties.
Yes.
An indulgence.
And a regular stall, and
And a
just take
regular
our
stall.
time.
Fancy.
Like,
What a
Oh
life.
my gosh, I
sounds
love it.
luxurious. Well, thank you, Carly. And thank you so
Mhm.
much for everybody for listening and watching. We appreciate you all so much. Make sure to follow us on all the socials. Make sure to follow Carly on all the socials as well. She is very entertaining, very
Yes.
amusing. And definitely check out her podcast because truly it is very amusing and so good. And I know Bridget and I both love it. So
Yeah. If you want your workout to go by fast, listen to the podcast
Yeah.
because it's funny. It's worth it.
truly. All right. And then Bridget and I do this little thing at the end where we say, okay, until next time, we'll see you
We'll see
real
you
soon.
real soon.
And then you
Kinda
can
go
like
like that.
chime in with us.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
work? Okay.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
wait. I'll say see you real soon
Okay.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Yep.
All
Okay.
right. So until next time,
we'll see you
real soon.
soon.
Woo!
You did it, Carly.
Did it.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.